Welcome guys back to the channel. Another day, another video. In this one we'll be more focused on the CX-5 which we are selling or which will be selling soon in the future. But behind me you can see Ben is dismantling the engine which had the oil pressure problem. It has suspected snapped oil pump chain and a rod knock when we drove it. That was the video. I made a short about it. It has a rod knock, and in the background behind me also Dan is fitting back the turbo. Let me tell you a bit about that. So basically we bought another refurbished turbo that's we're going to fit, and then take the other one which we bought, which is supposed to be refurbished as well, which was making the whistling noise. We're going to take that back for inspection to the shop where we bought it from, and then gonna make the assumption or assessment. We are curious as well, like how it will turn around or turn out. So now let me switch the camera. So Dan started the job, and let's have a look what he's managed to do so far. He got the cylinder head cleaned. He removed the timing components. Also got that cleaned as well. The oil pump is already clean because we cleaned that, and he replaced the strainer on it and also the rod bearings. And let me tell you why you should buy this car from us, because as you can see on the channel, we do only or mostly these engines, the 2.2s. We fix them to our best knowledge and we provide the best service or best job we can. As you can see it here as well, it's also gonna get the carbon cleaning done, new exhaust pressure sensor. That pipe is already being cleaned, and it's gonna get a new vacuum pump. And as I said in the previous video, we're going to give our warranty, 2-year warranty on the car. Only caveat to that is, it's not a caveat, it's not supposed to be a caveat, it's supposed to be a common thing in our opinion. But basically what that is, you have to bring, or whoever buys the car has to bring it back to us for the oil changes, which should be in 5,000-6,000 miles time. So yeah, that's the only thing, because we believe mostly that's why these engines go bad. Like, let me tell you also like few advices if you want to keep up keep your engine in good condition of these 2.2s. So basically our recommendation is 5,000-6,000 miles oil changes or a year, whichever comes first. 5 years or 50,000 miles for the injector washers, whichever comes first. 5 years, 50,000 miles for the carbon cleaning, whichever comes first. And the rest, general maintenance, so the filters, so air filter, cabin filter, fuel filter, and the wear and tear items. But basically that's supposed to be it. Also we got lots of time asked like what our opinion of these engines. We personally can only fault Mazda for the camshaft, specifically for the exhaust camshaft. That's not a wear and tear item, that's not supposed to wear, yet it wears, although not on all models. As I said already in previous videos, we think that is a material issue because we've seen it, for example, as on this car, the oil was changed on time, it looked good, it looked bronzish, goldish color, the cylinder head, yet the camshaft was worn. And we've seen the opposite as well, where it was full of oil sludge, black, dirty, and the camshaft was not worn. So yeah, that's in our opinion what we can fault Mazda for. Guys, the carbon buildup, it is there, it's a Euro 6 car. You can't have everything without sacrifices. So basically it's a ULEZ free car, so in the UK you don't have to pay ULEZ charges to enter to London, to that zone. And also the road tax is fairly cheap for these ones. I believe it's 20 or 35 pounds a year. Also quite cheap to run, I mean fuel wise. So they have very good consumption, especially the manual ones. The automatic ones have a little bit worse consumption. So everything has trade-offs, and it is mostly the carbon buildup is caused by the direct injection. So as you can see, the injectors are on top of the combustion chambers and they spray directly into the combustion chamber, whereas the previous method was when the injectors were on top of the intake manifold and they spraying fuel onto the inside the intake ports. Hence they were washing the walls of it and the carbon couldn't stick on them. Also, another emission related thing is the EGR, which basically redirects the exhaust gases again to the engine. At one point it is a good thing in terms or in sense that it gets the engine up to the operating temperature quicker. However, it feeds it those harmful exhaust gases back to the engine it gets burned again, reducing the emissions, but as you can see, making that carbon buildup more obvious and more severe. This one actually is quite low or quite bearable. It's not much, but as we said in a previous video, we quite think that it was done already before it was carried out, the carbon cleaning. So what's going to happen next? I'm going to fit back the intake and the exhaust camshaft and all the bits. Then I'm going to adjust the timing with obviously new timing chain components, so the sprocket, the tensioner, the guides, the chains. Then the valve cover going to be fitted back, and also new exhaust pressure sensor and the vacuum pump. And then we can carry out the carbon cleaning, get the car a full valeting, make it nice and shiny and clean and beautiful for you guys to be able to buy it. So yeah, let me get that done. Also, we'll include clips where the camshafts or when the camshafts will be on the car, so that you can actually see, you'll have actually proof that it's been replaced, it is clean, of the timing chain as well, and also of the carbon cleaning. So without further ado, let me get that done real quick. So Dan fitted the turbo and let's have a listen to it. So if I can ask Dan to rev it. You can see the engine is moving because the subframe is still next to me. We just wanted to see or listen it for ourselves, and as you can hear and see, the oil has left the engine bay. So now the car can finally go back together and finally go back to the owner. Obviously, further tests will need to be carried out, like test driving, checking for leaks, making sure everything is properly working, but then it can go back to the owner. So this is the camshafts fitted. That is a brand new one, the exhaust side, and this is what we cleaned. They're quite close to each other, nearly match. In the next video, I'm going to fit the timing chain, show you, and then finally assemble the engine back together, do the carbon cleaning. The vacuum pump is already been replaced. That unit. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to see how it turns out in the next video, and then we're going to get it cleaned, show you the result of the cleaning as well. Obviously the car, the valeting, the whole entire car, we're going to get clean, get rid of those leaves. We're going to make it fresh, nice and beautiful, and then it can go to find a new owner for himself.